Dr. Alexa Abdelaziz. I have a PhD specializing in the gut microbiome in autoimmune disease, and am currently the Director of Research and Development for MEND. MEND is a clinical nutrition company based in New York City that's researching food as medicine and focusing on how targeted nutrition can be utilized to improve health outcomes. The microbiome is a hot topic. Every day it seems that there is a new product out there targeted to the microbiome. But what does this mean? What even is the microbiome? In this video, I hope to demystify the topic and debunk some common myths. Inside our bodies, there are trillions of microorganisms of thousands of different species that play a critical role in health and well-being. These include bacteria, fungi, parasites, and viruses that coexist peacefully throughout the body, carrying out a variety of different functions and roles. This is referred to as the microbiome, and you'll hear more about it as the science in this area expands. Every person has an entirely unique network of microbes determined by their DNA. The first time you're exposed to external microorganisms occurs during birth, in the birth canal, and through mother's breast milk. Later, environmental exposures and diet help to further shape the types of microbes in your body. Microbes exist all throughout your body. There are microbes on your skin, making up the skin microbiome, in your lungs, the lung microbiome, and so on. In this video, we will primarily discuss the gut microbiome, which is where we find the largest number of microbes. The human gut microbiome has extensive functions, like protection against invaders, providing nutrients, and supporting the immune system. Our gut microbiome also influences human behavior, produces short-chain fatty acids, plays roles in energy metabolism, and aids in digestion. With all of these important processes, the gut microbiome is sometimes referred to as an essential organ. Gut health is essential to overall health, so let's get into how these gut microbes work for you. The gut microbiome in humans and other mammals is highly complex, and its diversity contributes to so many key processes that help maintain intestinal balance and health. In the gut, there are microbes that are both helpful and potentially harmful. Most are symbiotic, where both the human body and the microbes benefit, and some in smaller numbers are pathogenic, meaning they promote disease. In a healthy human body, these symbiotic and pathogenic microbiota coexist without any issues. But if the balance of these bugs is disturbed, dysbiosis occurs and halts these normal interactions. This disruption in the microbiota balance can be caused by infectious illnesses, certain diets, prolonged antibiotic use, among other reasons. Dysbiosis may cause the body to become more susceptible to disease. One way the gut microbiome can lead to disease states is through the development of a leaky gut. The gastrointestinal tract has a special barrier that blocks toxins from entering, but allows the absorption of nutrients. This barrier is formed by intestinal epithelial cells, which are the gut cells that are linked together by tight junction proteins, which you can kind of think of as the glue between these cells. Certain microbes, or the general imbalance or dysbiosis I mentioned earlier, can cause these proteins or this glue to become loose or leaky and lead to a leaky gut. The problem with a leaky gut is that it allows the entry of toxins into the bloodstream and can cause an immune response and lead to certain diseases. A real-life example of this, a study in type 1 diabetes, found an increase in microbes that can promote this gut leakiness and allows certain pathogenic microbes to enter the gut. These bad bugs then stimulate an inflammatory response and ultimately lead to the development of autoimmune type 1 diabetes. As I mentioned before, genes play a role in developing your microbiome, but what is in your control? Here at MEND, we know that living needs healing. So how can you think about healing your microbiome? Diet plays an important role in regulating the gut microbiome. Sugars like lactose are quickly absorbed in the small intestine. More complex carbohydrates like fibers are not as easily digested and move to the large intestine, where the microbiota can help break down these compounds using their digestive enzymes. This fermentation process produces short-chain fatty acids. The body uses these as a nutrient source for muscle function and potentially the prevention of diseases. Super important. Foods that support increased levels of short-chain fatty acids are indigestible carbohydrates, mostly fibers like inulin found in bananas, pectins found in apples, for example. These fibers are sometimes called prebiotics because they feed our beneficial microbiota. You can think of them as the fertilizer for the good bacteria. Complementary to prebiotics are probiotics. Probiotics are more of these good live bacteria for your gut maintenance. Probiotics ideally are utilized in situations where your microbes aren't as robust as they normally are. This is typically due to situations of stress to the body, such as long-term antibiotic use or pathogen exposure diarrhea, both requiring a replenishment of normal bacteria to restore a healthy, balanced gut microbiome composition. Although there is still much unknown about the microbiome, scientists are actively pursuing studying this important organ. Some of the key studies happening involve how to manipulate microbes to resist disease and better respond to treatment, developing probiotics as functional foods, identifying diagnostic disease markers from the microbiome, and alteration of the microbiome through transplantation of microbes between individuals. Interestingly, the efficacy of transferring the microbes from a healthy gut into a diseased gut, also known as fecal microbiota transplant, or FMT, has been widely studied in autoimmune disease, including in clinical trials for inflammatory bowel disease. In addition, some case reports have suggested improvements in Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, and others after an FMT procedure. These good bacteria are given from the healthy donor to the recipient, which restores their good bugs and helps repopulate a healthy gut microbiome. One of the most interesting studies surrounding this looks at the modification of the gut microbiome in alopecia, or autoimmune hair loss patients. After undergoing this fecal microbiota transplant, these patients regrew their hair, suggesting it could be a new therapeutic technique for this disease. These types of clinical studies and trials really demonstrate the clinical importance of the microbiome, and we are just beginning to scratch the surface of unlocking the potential of our microbes. I hope you've enjoyed learning a bit more about the microbiome today with me. What types of topics would you guys like to see explained? Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out men.me for more informative articles.